like he was going to win.
To me, he had that, like, not quite there look.
Okay, so we have 46 players, so we will still be doing, it's going to be 3 rounds of Swiss, followed by the cut to the top 8. So currently, everybody should have 3 packs in front of them in a sealed case. So to ensure this event runs as smoothly as possible, please follow my instructions as we move through the draft. If at any point you have a problem or discrepancy, please raise your hand and a judge will come to assist you.
Number 10, and he rips some of the black quick clips and Mark me to use my guy.
So one of the things
I think
Right now,
McGregor's got
open
it.
your container and verify with 3 packs labeled A, B, and C.
Okay, this is going to be bad.
Yeah, try me with Titan.
Please be aware.
So what you're going to have to realize is in the middle of this match, we are going to have to deal with the sound of the draft that is happening.
Select a card to draft. Please place it face down in your container in front of you. You may not look at your drafted card while the pack is active.
The match here, I feel like it's got a favorite Pat. Pat's been playing really well.
On paper, it definitely favors Pat. Now, one of the things that I saw a couple people were talking about in the chat earlier is a comment that they saw Black-Blue as having a favored matchup against Boros. Now, that's only true if Black-Blue cares to fight against an aggro deck. And it struck me that all of the Black-Blue decks here were positioned against other control decks.
Please do not lean back.
I mean, post-board, he had
great weapons.
definitely advanced.
Oh, yeah.
Game 1, I think the red-white deck had a bigger percentage than the blue-black deck did in games 2 and 3 even. But I think post-board, the blue-black deck was ahead.
I think it has an edge, right? But we're going to then have a game 1 likely go to Boros. Game 2, if it goes the way of Black-Blue, means that game 3 Boros gets to open. And going first on that really drops down that final percentage. Okay, we're getting our first opening hands, and like we said, Pat McGregor here with Boros is definitely on paper the favorite.
He's also on the play.
Oh wow, that makes him even more so a favorite. Put plus 10 percentage points in this matchup, or sorry, not this matchup, in this game chances.
Fed plans, completed DFB.
Okay, everyone, pick up your pack.
For sure.
You'll have 40 seconds.
I'm interested to see how this match plays out. I've kind of seen the whole like force the aggro opponent to stumble, like to have a lot of lands that don't really do it. Like that's kind of been Conley's play, but
Boros is a little bit lower on the curve than a lot of those decks are.
Cards have a lot more colored, like colorless.
Yeah, they can lean on the colorless by a lot more. A spreading seas is not nearly as problematic.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not as problematic as it is in the Vampire matchup.
Right.
It's got to be just about the best card there.
5 seconds.
And I somehow leveled my derogatory speaker on trying to be like an idiot.
For those of you who are overhearing the announcements at home of the judge, there is a draft challenge happening here, so that if you are here for the second day of the Star City Games Open Series, you can draft in a really, really great format where it'll be a total of 2 drafts with a fair amount of prizes on the line.
Yeah, it's a pretty exciting thing. Like now, you can show it up to these events, and a lot of people used to say, well, you know, I have a standard deck, I like playing my standard, but Legacy is just a format that I'm boxed out of.
Yeah, so I can't afford all those dual lands, right?
Yeah, people would, go for the day, and on Sunday maybe they'd hang out, maybe they'd, go to the event, do a side draft or 2, but, a lot of people were sitting on the sidelines during the Legacy events. Like, these draft challenges really give people a chance to, make a weekend out of the trip. And I feel like it's a great incentive to, make your way to some of these Star City events around the country.
We see our opening here. Step Lengths versus Halimar Depths.
5 seconds. Draft.
Conley looks a bit more tired than he did yesterday.
He was probably up to the wee hours, enjoying Legacy preparations.
Pick up your pack.
Do you think he got any carrot cake today?
You have 30 seconds.
Okay, coming in for a quick 4.
All the dudes. Yeah.
Following up with the GOP'd. Conley's best play here is probably Overgrown Battlement. Or maybe Lotus Cobra.
Yeah, I mean, it's so frustrating when you're on the draw and your opponent mulligans and they go, turn 1, step links. Turn 2, fetch land, crack it.
They did GFP.
Yep. One more fetch land is 9 damage coming at him.
You should have 11 cards.
Which 2 spread?
It's possible for him to
Pick
die
up
on
your pack.
turn 3 here.
I go with...
You
Not
have
likely, but
25
possible.
seconds.
Probably have an Arid Mason and it doesn't matter.
I think he's going to cast
I mean,
Spreading Seas. That's not going to be too exciting.
3 cards? 3 cards.
Fetch land into a pair of bolts.
They're pretty awesome.
That's all it takes.
It's true.
Start with sweet.
There it is. Turns off that line of play.
Good.
5 seconds.
Oh no. Whatever will Pat do?
Well, he'll crack for 9.
9, 6.
Drop Conley down to 6.
Lay out your pack to your left. You should have 10 cards.
Now it's more than just on paper. It looks like that's going with this.
Pick up your pack.
Okay, another Spreading Seas.
You have 25 seconds.
Blocker.
And a Conley Heart Garden. That's going to help a little bit.
That will help a bit.
Yeah, if there's no sack land, that means that either 0 or 2 damage is going to come across.
Fetches.
If there is one, then that's a little bit more.
Yeah.
5 seconds. Draft.
I wonder if Pat even keeps in the Koths this matchup.
Oh, and there's a sack land.
Lay
There's a
out your
journey,
pack to
and there's a
your
kill.
left. You should have
That was quick.
9
That
cards.
was a quick game.
Yeah, it's turn 4.
Turn 4.
Pick up
Turn
your
4
pack.
on the play, mulligan.
You
Yep.
have 20 seconds.
Now Conley
And your opponent casts 2 spells.
is going to be bringing in from this. He's got 4 Obstinate Bailoff, 2 Ratchet Bomb, 2 Narcolepsy, and a Wall of Tangle Cord.
That's a lot of stuff.
That is a lot of stuff.
5 seconds.
Wall of Tangle Cord seems really good here.
Yeah.
Draft.
I mean,
Kind of just sits there, right?
it's just it sits there, totally eats up either one of
Lay out your
these
pack to your left.
landfall creatures,
You should
and
have 8 cards.
pretty much demands a
Pick up your
It
pack.
gives him an out to.
You have 20 seconds.
Pat's playing Squadron Mark, right?
and Pat does have the 4 Squadron Hawks.
Okay, so I mean, Wall of Tangle Cord gives him an out to that alongside Adventuring Gear, which is otherwise very difficult for him.
Yeah. Pat's sideboard.
5 seconds.
He can bring an Arc Trail to fight the Jiraga Tree Speaker and the
Draft.
Lotus Cobra.
I think he brings in the Mark of
Mark of
Mutinies,
Lay out your
Yeah.
pack to your
and
left. You should have 7
he's
cards.
probably going to be taking out the.
Pick up your pack. You
Spike
have
Child is
15
coming out.
Yeah,
seconds.
I think of it as the Spike Child most likely. It's the smallest clock, and while it can kill a Lotus Cobra, like that's a lot of mana to have to
5
wait to
seconds.
kill Lotus Cobra. You can't kill it until the Lotus Cobra has done at least 1 turn's worth of work.
Draft.
I'm interested to see whether or not Pat brings in the Rune Blasters. I don't think they're very good.
I don't
Lay out
really-
your pack to
Red
your
is
left.
kind of rough
You
against
should
an
have
early
6
set.
cards.
Like it's really hard to even. It's really hard to make them
Pick up your
Pretty good
pack.
6
castable.
You have 10
Yeah,
seconds.
and with that in mind, he might actually take out the
11
Koth just
fetch
because of the
lands.
problem, the possible problem of not being able to cast it.
5
I see here.
seconds.
Journeys.
He's playing a pair of Koths in the man.
No,
He's got 2 Koth main.
Oh, you
Okay,
did?
so you know maybe he's played against these decks and
Lay out
he
your
is
pack to your left.
he's
You
going
should
to
have
sideboard
5
plan.
cards.
You know, I'm going to take out 3 Spike Shadow,
Pick
then
up
my
your
2
pack.
Koths. I'm going to bring in 3 Mark and 2
You
Mark
have 10
Trophies.
Yeah,
seconds.
that'd be a fine set of cards to bring in.
5 seconds.
The deck will just be really well positioned.
You know,
Draft.
I can
Now, for the sake of argument, let's pretend that
Lay
Conley's
out your pack to your
sideboard
left.
plan
You should have
works.
4 cards.
If his sideboard plan works, that means that Pat
Pick up
McGregor
your
gets to
pack.
start it out again.
You have 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just such a scary place to be in, even with, the ways that Conley can come back.
Draft.
it was really not, but I wanted to go.
Lay out your pack to your left.
Turn two
You should
over
have
battle
3
map.
cards.
But if I did that, I couldn't.
Pick up your
shuffle.
pack.
I had, like,
You have
land
5
on top, and
seconds.
there was just no
So
way.
remember, everybody, that there is going to be a giveaway at some point in this round
Draft.
that will give a full
Lay out your
year
pack to your left.
of
You should
premium
have 2 cards.
to one lucky viewer
Pick up your pack.
that's following
You
along.
have 5 seconds. Draft. Please pass the last card.
Now,
At
I wonder
this
how much
time,
Pat
you
tested
have
for this
30
event.
seconds to review your selections.
I mean, his deck choice
Please
is
begin.
perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's certainly my aggro deck of choice.
It's a very good deck.
There's a lot of talk about Kargan Dragonlord being bad right now
I think I'm gonna play first.
on the stream.
Probably.
I'd have to disagree.
Yeah.
I mean,
I tried it once in a while.
he eats
Wins
people
all most games.
for breakfast,
Gotta mix
lunch,
it up. Yeah.
and dinner. He
I
eats
mean-
them. He's a human warrior. It's
Good
cannibalism.
player.
As good as the land tax. and
Please
play them.
place the cards in front of the, face down in front of the container in front of you. Please open up the pack
As much
labeled
RAM as there
B.
is, it's probably actually just better go on the play even if you have it.
Lay it out
I like
in
gross
front of
fast.
you.
Like, sweet.
And verify that you have 14 cards.
I mean, in my experience, one of the things that ends up happening for people that are playing red decks,
Okay.
they say, oh, I can't beat certain cards.
Good.
But if they had Kargan Dragonlord, it just changes things around entirely. Kargan Dragonlord is a straight-up trump to Core Firewalker.
Please pick up your pack. You have 40 seconds.
Okay.
It's an incredible deck against like
19.
these blue-green random decks that don't really have spot removal.
Yeah, I mean, you can very easily, against a lot of those decks, just put down on turn 4, or attack on turn 4 with a 4/4 flyer, and then on turn 5 with an 8/8 flyer, or a 9/8 flyer.
Five seconds. Draft. Lay out your pack to your right.
Oh, the narcolepsy. Good.
You should have 13 cards.
I always notice.
How many cards? 4.
Pick up your pack. You have 35 seconds.
You see the emergence of Narcolepsy. Another good card that Conley is able to bring in these matchups.
Conley gets to take out some of the cheaper cards can be taken advantage of with the sideboard Arc Trails from Pat McGregor. He gets to replace them with cards like Narcolepsy, cards that deal with the early threats.
I mean, the amount of damage that Narcolepsy is going to save him is actually pretty ridiculous.
5 seconds.
Yep.
We're going to see the Sword of Body and Mind.
Would not be surprised about that.
Lay out your pack to your right.
Is that what that is, or is
You should
that?
have
That's what that
12
is. It's a
cards.
Sword of Body and Mind.
I can't see the one on the side of it.
Pick up your pack. You have 30 seconds.
Bricked. Sword.
I actually got my I got my Sword of Body and Mind for my cube before Scars Mirrodin was even released. From the Vault Relics.
18. Spike shot. Yep.
5 seconds.
Okay.
Draft.
I believe that we just saw a
Lay out your pack to your right.
Overgrown Battlement get removed from the
You should
game.
have 11 cards.
Journey to Nowhere.
Pretty nice play to have.
Pick up your pack.
The Spike Shot Elders did not get taken out.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Now I assume that Pat has tested this a bit, and or has at least talked about it a good deal with some people. And he decided that the spike shot alters belonged on the deck.
Again, no land, so his step length is
5 seconds.
fairly impotent.
Okay.
Draft.
Go ahead.
Says go, signaling that he's going to activate the
Lay out your pack to your right. You should have 10
Mystic
cards.
and get out a
Pick up
artifact.
your pack. You have 25 seconds.
Jace.
See, is Conley going to tick this up?
I don't know how far he actually gets by bouncing something. He might just put out that as a sacrificial lamb, put it out, draw some cards, and that's what's going on.
Yep. He gets to play
5
another one,
seconds.
you know?
Because really what he needs here is he needs to get
Draft.
the acidic slime to take out that sword that's going to hit play in a second.
Lay out your pack to your right. You should have 9 cards. Pick up your pack. You have
I mean,
20
he needs to find that
seconds.
6 slimes. Does he have double green right now?
He does not.
He has a Cobra in hand, though, so it's not too hard to imagine.
5
him.
seconds.
Well, he's tapping that red mana. That's surprising to me.
Draft.
He used the red for the bolt.
Lay out your pack to your right.
Oh, that was at the end of the turn. My bad.
You should have
Yeah.
8 cards.
Swings in for 4.
Pick up your pack. You have 20 seconds.
So now, Conley's talked about this already, about using the Jace with a sort of body in mind to reset his hand.
13. And I'll play other stuff.
Conley goes to 13.
And I'm somewhat surprised at the cards that we saw get flipped down.
5 seconds.
Mindslaver is not a card I necessarily expected to see here.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either.
Draft.
Conley, I think,
Lay out your pack.
looks like you got
to your
another
right.
colorless, and that's
You should
it.
have 7 cards.
That'll do it.
3 colorless.
Pick up your pack.
And wow, Pat
You have
McGregor is
15
our
seconds.
Kansas City Standard Open champion.
Yeah, that was. If you looked at Conley's hand, he did not have access to a second green mana for most of his
5
hand.
seconds.
The 3 Tectonic Edges are some of the only colorless land in his deck. He's only got
Draft.
4 colorless sources, and they were the lands he found. It would have been an entirely different game if
Lay
he'd
out
had
your
more
pack
color.
To your right. You should have 6 cards.
No, that's okay.
I feel like this is
That'll be
huge.
okay.
Pick up your pack. You
Oh,
have
look at
10
that.
seconds.
The red-white deck.
Look at Pat's face there. He's really
He's
excited
pretty
about that.
excited.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah.
It's got to be a pretty good feeling.
5 seconds.
Congratulations on making top 2.
You got there.
Well played.
You beat the pro.
Congratulations on
Yeah.
that.
exactly. Exactly.
Lay out your pack.
not sure
to
if
your
Pat is
right.
from.
You should have 5
Yeah.
cards.
He may be.
Pick up your pack. You have 10 seconds.
Pat?
Yep. Get this information for you guys real quick.
5 seconds.
Pat, actually, yeah, he is from Bloomington, Minnesota, so he took a trip down here
Draft.
in order to come here and play his Boros
Lay
deck.
out your pack. To your
I like
right.
that. Under
You should have
occupation.
4 cards.
Still laugh out loud.
Pick up your pack. You have 5 seconds.